Let Factor help you hit your spring goals this year. Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers to your door so you can just enjoy, no hassle. These fresh, never frozen meals are delicious and nutritious. I love Factor because, listen, it is so hard to shop for one or shop for two, especially when you're trying to stay healthy. You don't get the right portions. Factor is going to put together the correct sized meal for you to stay healthy. And also it's going to get creative. You are going to cook grilled chicken and vegetables. And you're going to do that 5 nights in a row. And then you're going to say, I need something different. Factor has so many different options, and you can look and feel your best in time for warmer weather with calorie-smart meals around 550 calories or less. Factor now offers 34 meal options per week and over 3 dozen add-on options like sweets, smoothies, juices, and so much more. Not only is Factor cheaper than takeout, these meals are ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. Head to factormeals.com/JTrain50. Use code JTrain50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code JTrain50 at factormeals.com/JTrain50 to get 50% off your first box. Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. It's JTrain Jared Freid coming to you live from the West Village of Manhattan. That's right, every Monday we read your emails, we tell your story, we give advice. If you want your email read on the show, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. That's jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Your dating questions, your relationship questions, your lifestyle questions, anything you want to send in, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. If you're out there, I'm on the road, people. We got dates before we get into our guests. I'm on the road, people. Come on out. I'm going to be in Spokane, Washington, Oklahoma City, Dublin, Belfast, London, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Berlin, Oslo, Kansas City, Missouri, Nashville, Tennessee, Lexington, Kentucky, Charlotte, North Carolina, jaredfreid.com for tickets. Very excited. We got to get right to our guests. Very excited. Hilarious comic, okay? She has her own show, Miss Pat Show. It's on BET Plus right now. Miss Pat, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This is such a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
You're hilarious, and you're about to go on a theater tour.
Yep, starting September the 9th.
Okay, so we got some time.
Yeah, first city is Louisville, Kentucky.
I've never been to Louisville.
You ain't missing nothing.
Okay. I was saying before we started today that we have met. I was opening for Michelle Wolf, and you were in the crowd. You know, you were in the back of the room watching Michelle on stage, and you came back and met us afterwards. But I was just in Indianapolis.
Really? What club did you?
I did Helium.
Okay, that's that used to be my home club when I lived there. I don't live there anymore.
So you moved L.A.?
I moved. No, man, I can't. I'm too fat for L.A. Them people don't eat. I moved to Atlanta where they do eat.
Okay, I love Atlanta.
I do too. I'm born and raised.
That's where you're from?
Yes.
What were you doing in Indianapolis for a time?
My husband had health care. Good job.
Okay.
He worked for Allison Transmission, which is a form of General Motors. So they transferred out of Atlanta, so we had to go where the money was.
Gotcha.
So I followed him there. So he retired, so he followed me back home.
I love that. Are you happy? You're happier in Atlanta?
Yeah, I didn't want to die in Indy. It's cold. I don't want to be buried up on the ice.
Yeah, it was cold. It's cold and it was gray. Maybe I just hit a bad
You probably
streak.
just felt like that.
Right.
That's the feeling in the summertime too.
The downtown was the downtown. I couldn't believe it felt like a suburban dad designed it.
Probably.
Just like a Hooters and a Dick's Last Resort. I was like, why did
Dick's Last Resort?
You ever hear those?
No.
There's a Dick's Last Resort. It's like this restaurant chain.
Oh, the restaurant.
Right.
Yes,
and you'd walk in and the guy would and they would be like, you're a fucking loser. And their whole thing was that the wait staff would make fun of you.
Oh, you know what? I didn't go downtown much because I lived in a place called Plainfield, Indiana. So Indiana closed about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Everywhere during the week. So I never went out. And plus I was on the road all the time. So it wasn't my... I love Indiana. They support me, but I didn't do a lot of nightlife there.
Now you have a show.
Yes.
The Miss Pat Show.
On BET Plus, season 3.
Season 3. Mm-hmm. And it's your life.
It's about my life, based off of my life.
When they tell you, hey, we want a show about your life, how do you tell friends and family? Is there people in the show that you're kind of fucking with that you like have to say to them, like, hey, because like I talk about my parents on stage. Mm-hmm. My parents are pretty much aware of how I talk about them. I've had moments on this podcast where I've told stories about my dad doing something and being annoyed, and then I have to answer to him. Have you had to answer to anybody?
I'm 50 years old. I'm through answering to anybody.
No one's confronted you?
What?
I don't know. Your kids, do they go, you made me look like this, or no?
Dude, fuck my kids.
Listen,
they don't care. I mean, I think they could be comedians if they wanted to.
Right.
But no, I don't. I mean, I do tell a lot, but if I go over and say something they don't like, I'm like, oh, fuck it. You shouldn't have let me heard it.
Well, I just
had memories.
Well, I like your attitude, Miss Pat, because I kind of get I get anxious about this because this is a podcast. You go on podcasts and you tell stories, and you know you go and you're off the cuff and you're trying to relate stories, and you're not trying to embarrass people. You're trying to take these stories.
My family don't get embarrassed, so they ain't a bunch of pussies like other family. Oh, you told my period. Come on, so what?
Right.
Everybody have a period. Even Mary had a period before she bit the fucking apple. Right. I think she had the period after she bit the apple. Right. I don't fuck. Oh, Eve. God damn it, Mary was the other.
Mary had a period too.
Mary was Jesus' mom. Okay.
She had a period too. We all had periods.
I gotta learn my Bible shit. I've been confusing Jesus with Adam. I gotta get my Bible shit together.
I think you're okay.
No,
you gotta prepare your Bible. Okay,
Eve was the first lady.
That was the first. Yes.
One. Mary was Jesus' mama, who God impregnated her from the clouds.
What's the Jewish version?
Sir, I don't know. Let me tell you something. I just got in Hollywood. You ain't finna get me say nothing about Jewish people. You ain't got to give me counsel. I ain't fucking with no Jewish people.
Don't worry,
I ain't messing with no gay people.
We're friends now.
I don't give a fuck. We ain't that kind of friends. You ain't got me. I ain't fucking with no Jewish.
No, I'll protect you. I'll be your Jewish friend that you can
I got
reference.
A Jewish friend, and I don't talk about him. That's how you can protect me. So if you say anything about y'all will cancel my motherfucking lunch card at school that I don't even need no more.
We'll be careful with the Jews. Okay. Now
you said it. I did.
I'm the Jew. I'm the Jew. Okay,
and I'm the Negro, so I ain't fucking with y'all.
Miss Pat, I have to ask because I had a situation. We talk about dating and relationships here. I'm a single guy, so I've told stories. I look single.
Yeah.
What's a single look? Jewish looking? Okay. No. Don't do it.
You look
don't do it. Don't talk.
Sweatshirt. It look like you dress yourself.
Oh, this isn't a good look.
Keep going.
You come on my show, you insult the Jews.
No, I did not insult no fucking Jews. Don't you say that. I slapped the shit out of you. Don't you say that shit. I don't insult no race of people.
Miss Pat has been very nice. The Jews. She lit the Hanukkah candles.
What motherfucking Hanukkah candle?
No.
I ain't lit no candle. I don't even like birthday candles.
Okay, no Hanukkah candles.
Y'all got your own candles?
We got our own candles. We light some candles. We do them every Saturday, Friday night.
What y'all light the candles for?
We do a little prayer every the Shabbos. The Shabbat, you do the...
Oh, okay. I thought it was like when somebody died, because when black people die, we let balloons go.
You guys do... There's a lot of... Let balloons go?
Yeah.
What do they do? Into the sky?
And we do doves too. You ain't never been no black funeral, and then the craziest motherfucker in the world holding
Who is this? Or is it your assistant?
Yeah.
Your assistant she reminded you. She goes, no, black people, we also do this.
No, that means the birds. We let birds.
Oh, you let birds out.
Yeah. What do they call? Doves. And black people be scared of the fucking doves. I don't know why. Let me tell you something. So my mother-in-law died, right? And that was the first time what?
I'm sorry for your loss.
Man, that was a long time ago.
Okay.
Everybody got to die. They ain't on that long.
That's right.
But she died, and they rented 2 birds, and they paid like $300, $400 for these doves.
Hold on, you rent the birds?
Yeah, let me tell you.
Okay.
These motherfuckers, they holy dollar and whatever they say, and to the grace of God, and they let the birds go. But the birds got a fucking monitor on. They fly back to the funeral home. I said, bitch, for $400, and we had to do fish fries and get this money together, bury this bitch, right. And you pay $400 and fly a bird back to a motherfucking funeral. I'm going to pick this nigga up, and he gonna go home with me. I got you for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They spent $800 to let 2 doves go.
The bird makes more an hour than I do.
I know. I would have not. We about to fry this nigga. Go get him.
Wait a minute. Black people also do when people die. You guys make T-shirts a lot.
Oh yeah, we do that. Rest in peace cakes and shirts and shit. Yeah.
What's the origin of the T-shirts?
I don't know. I personally don't wear rest in peace T-shirts, but it's a big market for. I think Hispanic and black people do it.
Hispanic people do. You're right. Yeah. Well, listen, we're learning everything.
Y'all don't do it.
Jews, we don't do a lot of T-shirts in death. No.
We
yell at each other. We take the things from my grandma's house that we want. Okay. We have a thing called a Shiva call. And the Shiva call is you can come to, they'll set up a house where everyone can come. It's one place where all your friends and family can pay their respects. So you get
for
5 days for the dead person. So the family, the immediate family, hangs at this one house. And then everyone goes to that one house for like dinner time-ish. And I think it's a good way to die. I think because it gets you out of the grave.
Say a good way to die.
I think it's a good way to be there for the family. It's organized. So it's like you have those 5 days.
But by the time the funeral get here, everybody through showing their ass.
We did the funeral first. We put people in the ground very quickly.
Oh yeah, you have to because y'all turn up black people and white people, white skinned people don't like that.
Wait, what?
If you leave, we can stay out. Like James Brown stayed out for 6 months.
6 months?
Shit, yeah, he had to get the money right.
Okay.
And everybody was his estate or whatever. So we gonna put his ass in the refrigerator till y'all figure it out. You could never do that. By the time you pull that white person out that fucking refrigerator, that black person you had to change the race on the birth certificate to Negro. They be crispy black.
I'm not going to comment on that the way you didn't comment on the Jews. And
No,
well, listen, I'm pumped to have you here. Everyone needs to go check out Miss Pat Show. It's on BET Plus. We want everyone to go watch
Amazon Prime too. If you don't have BET Plus, you can get it through Amazon Prime.
So go watch it. There's 2 seasons
3
waiting.
seasons.
Well, this is the 3rd season?
Yes, already out.
And the 3rd season's already out.
And it's funny.
That's all that matters.
You won't find anything else on TV as funny as the Miss Pat Show.
Well, Miss Pat, you are hilarious. I love watching you. I love hearing you on podcasts. I love that you're here right now. We're going to answer the emails, okay?
Okay, let's
go. You ready?
go.
And we want everyone to go misspatcomedy.com to see all her tour dates. And Miss Pat Show, it's on BET Plus, Amazon Prime.
And I just released a new tour called Your Girl Done Made It.
Yeah, Your Girl Done Made It. But it doesn't start till September.
Yeah, but you can buy the tickets now. What you talking about?
Okay. I'm sorry. Go to misspatcomedy.com. Your Girl Done Made It. The tour starting in September. Get your tickies. Assemble the group chat. Get the group together. Let's do some emails. You ready?
Let's go.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Dude email. So a dude wrote in, okay? He's probably wearing a sweatshirt like me. Dressed himself.
Okay.
Jared, I'm a huge fan of your comedy and advice. I'll get right to it. I'm a 29-year-old guy. For most of my life, I've been painfully introverted and always struggled with weight. So as you can imagine, all your fantastic material on food and body image resonates deeply with me. Over the last 2 years, I committed to making major changes, have lost 90 pounds and counting. I'm now healthier and happier, as well as more outgoing and confident than I've ever felt, which has led me to trying online dating for the first time. I've met some great people where there was chemistry and I could see a possible connection forming. The problem, I have basically no sexual experience, with the exception of a few handsy occasions and one accidentally painful blowjob 5 years ago. That's a line in this email.
Who sucked his dick, the dog?
They didn't even explain that story, but you can't just say accidentally painful blowjob 5 years ago.
He must have stuck his dick in the fan.
He's just looking for places to put his dick.
In a fucking grinder or something.
Lately, more than once, I've clicked with someone on the date, but when she went in for a kiss, I wasn't ready and awkwardly pulled back. The mood doesn't last long after that. I know I've now been going out for 2 months with someone who's made it clear she's into me and wants to go further. I enjoy our hangouts and I'm into her too, but know by now that I need a long time to feel comfortable with anything physical beyond PG-13, cuddling, even when I'm really attracted. We've only made out once and it was too soon for me. I told her I need to take things slow and she respected that. But I worry this will only work for so long before she loses interest. Of course, I understand that my timetable and needs might be too much and want to avoid seeming like I'm leading her on. What can I tell her or anyone else I might meet in the future to explain my situation the best way? Do you have any advice for how I can get over this roadblock? I appreciate any help. Thanks for all you do. What do you think, Miss Pat? This is a
29-year-old young man who used to be fat, lost the weight, realized he got way more dick than he used to have.
Right.
But now he's scared to get pussy. Can I curse?
You can
he's scared.
say whatever
Okay,
you
he's
like.
scared to get pussy.
Except with the Jews. You got to be careful.
Okay. He's scared to get pussy.
Right.
I mean, wow. I mean, I think, he's inexperienced, so I know what he's scared of. He's scared he's going to stick it in the nut really quick, and he's going to be called.
Well, he's afraid of kissing, if we can take back a step.
Oh.
Like, he is sitting here, and listen,
He might need to go pick up him a couple prostitutes first.
just get out there, get it out of his
and
system.
just get him out. Make all the mistakes with what you paid to be with, which
Right.
is a hooker, so you can get some type of experience. Cause and don't get no young hooker. Get a middle-aged hooker who can teach you a couple things.
Right.
But sound like he gonna stick it in the wrong hole on the first time.
It doesn't sound like he knows where the holes are. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think he has to admit he's probably at 29. I could imagine that you're like, I gotta get everything done at once. It's probably a lot to think of. Like he's at Kiss, and he's probably thinking, well, I gotta go. If I kiss, then I gotta do the next step, and then I gotta do the next step.
Well, he lost 90 pounds, so he might be insecure with the way his body looks.
Absolutely.
So, but it's okay. I'm a fat woman. You just get naked and act like, if they act like they don't see it, hell, you act like you don't see it.
Right. Well, if they're in the room with you, they like
want
you.
to see it
They want to
anyway.
see it anyways. So
Yes.
I think this guy, he writes something very specific. Do you have, he writes, what can I tell her or anyone else in the future to explain my situation the best way?
Way you say, I'm a virgin. I'm new to pussy.
Right. You would rather hear that, right?
Yeah, and then they say, well, let me teach you a couple things.
That's the thing. I think that's what he needs
These
to do.
bitches out here will teach you something. Just say, hey, it's like just trying a new restaurant. Look,
Right.
Hey, I ain't never been here, but I'm gonna give it a try.
Right.
You either like it or you don't.
If you went into a restaurant, and the waiter sometimes, is anyone first timers with us?
First, and you
I always go, yup.
yeah.
First, do the show. Do the first timer show. I don't want to miss something. So I think he needs to let her know I'm a first timer.
Yeah, I mean, other than that blowjob, I want to know who gave you a painful blowjob.
Right. Someone fucked him up for life.
Somebody he wouldn't go get his dick sucked and somebody ate it.
Right. Yeah, someone thought. I think what he needs to do. It seems counterintuitive because he's probably thinking, well, I don't want to. I'm 29. I want to embarrass myself. You're going to embarrass yourself more if you don't say anything. If you're doing this pullback shit. Yeah, you're right. He's so right. He says. I enjoy our hangouts and I'm into her, but I know that I need a long time. We've only made out once and it's too soon for me.
What is make out? Did y'all just hunch? Did y'all kiss? Did y'all have sex?
I think they just made out, just kiss.
What? That ain't making out, sir. That's just a kiss.
What was making out to you?
Putting it in.
Fucking.
Oh, is that fucking? I thought I was making it out.
What's up with it? What's putting it in?
The penis.
In anything?
In my vagina. What the fuck are you talking
Making
about?
out is kissing.
Oh, it is.
In what world is making out not kissing?
I'm sorry. I had a baby in the 6th grade. We went straight to it. We ain't no fucking making it out.
That's a penis makeout. I don't.
Oh, well, I skipped the mating out then. Know what? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, this guy is in a very different boat.
You know what?
If you were with a guy, if a guy came out to you, you came out to you and was like, hey, Miss Pat, I've had a great time with you tonight. I got to let you know. I'm like not just a virgin. I've never really kissed a woman.
And I would say, me neither.
Really? I guess that's a good point. Well, then you'd be making a joke out of it, and you'd be probably the perfect date for this situation.
I'm not lying. That's not a joke. I've never kissed a woman.
That's what I'm saying. You're making a joke to him, like in that scenario.
No, I'm answering this fucking question. I ain't never kissed a woman either.
How do you feel? Well, how about I've never made out. I've never been sexual with a woman, with anyone.
On that day, I would say me either. You want to give it a try if I like him.
Right.
So we'll be learning together.
He's got to realize that it's okay that you're a rough draft. You're a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I think most
some women like that. And
right.
it's hard to find a man that ain't never had no pussy and he's not gay. So it's okay. I mean, if she's really into you, just be honest with you. Hey, this whole sexual thing is new to me. I'm just used to taking my penises and piss in the toilet. But I know it was created for other things. But I will let you guide me.
I'd like to be guided.
Yeah.
I would let you. I'd like to. Yeah. I
Since
totally,
you want to put it in correct English.
No, I know. I'm not to correct. I'm saying like I totally agree with what you're saying. I think he's probably worried. He's like, oh, I don't want to say that.
But I'm gonna say this to you.
Go.
You're gonna get pussy whipped. That's your first try. You're gonna give her your whole paycheck. Oh my God, she's gonna wrap you around her fingers because she's gonna be the first one that gave you some.
Right.
You're gonna calm really quick, calm down. It's okay.
It happens.
It happens the first time anyway.
And the 700th time.
When you nut for the first time doing sexual intercourse, it's different from in your hand, I assume.
It's the most different. I mean, I am a stud with my own hand. I can last all night.
Let me. You don't turn yourself on then.
Well, I can go. I can shift gears.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
I don't want to know how you jack your dick. I'm sitting in your chairs.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Miss Pat. Miss Pat Show. It's on BET Plus right now. 3 seasons. Go watch it right now. Get involved. Everyone gets stinky somewhere.
Child, everywhere for me, but keep going.
Let Lumi whole body deodorant give you a great smelling everywhere. Created by an OBGYN who realized external odor needed an external solution, so she created Lumi. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and controls odor for 72 hours and pH optimized to safely protect our pH and control odor. Isn't this fantastic?
Mm-hmm.
This is unbelievable. I have it. I use it. It was created by OBGYN, but I take the stuff and I use it under my underarms. It smells delicious. It's like there's a toasted coconut smell. It's unbelievable. Made with the most sensitive parts of the body and mind. Use Lumi products on your pits, underboobs, butt cracks, vulvas, and feet. The sticks go on just like regular deodorant. That's what I have. And they work on private parts too.
Give me some Luma, honey.
I'll get you some.
Some Illuminati, some Lumina cans.
Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code JTrain at LumiDeodorant.com. That's just over 40% off your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com. Use code JTrain. Let's do another email. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. He loves me. He loves me not.
Probably not.
Dear Jared, I found you by way of Girls Gotta Eat podcast, and I'm glad I did. Thanks, Ashley and Raina. Got a little story for you that I'm curious to hear a man's perspective on. Well, Miss Pat's going to weigh in as well. I have a guy friend.
I'm a man with his wig off, but keep going.
I have a guy friend that I've known for a few years. We started to get closer about a year ago. Since then, we both temporarily relocated and then recently moved back into the same area. He spent Christmas Day with my family and met my grandmother. A few weeks after Christmas, my grandmother got really sick, and I called the friend to get his thoughts on the situation because he's a doctor. To make a very long story short, he pretty much ended up saving my grandmother's life by stepping in to direct her care multiple times over the next several weeks. During that time, we started talking every day and haven't stopped. In addition to saving my grandmother's life, he's been incredibly kind, caring, and empathetic towards me. He's checked in on me often to see how I'm handling things. I had a bit of a panic attack late one night due to the cumulative effect of all the stress, and he spent an hour on the phone with me until I felt better. We get together for dinner or to hang out a few times a week. He's 14 years older than me, 34 and 48, and there's never been anything physical between us. Until recently, we've always talked about the other people we're dating. Is he just being a super good friend, or is he thinking there will be something more? I'm admittedly wishy-washy on what I want out of the relationship, but I wish I knew what he was thinking. Thanks for the help, Feather Feather. What do you think, Miss Pat?
That might be her Romeo and Juliet. Well, that's wrong. What is it, Romeo and Juliet? That might be her king, child. Just because he older, I think she might have something there.
Really?
Yeah, girl, you might want to tell him to save you. He might be about to save your life.
What do you think about her? Right. He might swoop in. And
I think he already done swooped in. He's just waiting on her to make that move. Mainly probably because he's a little older than her.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he want to be forced for her because she's 34. He's 48, right?
Right.
So, you got when you're 34, I have a 35-year-old daughter, and she brought home a 48-year-old. She gay, but brought home a 48-year-old woman. I'm like, what you doing with her? We went to school together.
Right.
So
I know her. Yeah.
Well, I don't know her, but I could have went to school with her. So I think it's just an older man. She's liking an older man, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. I don't know how they be like. It's weird that they be. I have a guy friend I've known for years. How did you guys meet in the first place?
He went to school with her daddy.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
Right.
He was an older brother friend. He lived down the street.
This is the thing. Guys don't just randomly appear into women's lives. I
yes,
don't believe.
Yes, they do, sir.
Randomly? You don't think he had maybe you don't think there's an attraction there that brings him over to her in the
I
first
don't
place?
want to fuck you, and I'm here with you.
Well, you want to go on the podcast.
Well, that was randomly.
It wasn't so random. I got an email. Hey, Miss Pat would like to come on the show.
Okay. I thought it was randomly.
Just randomly ended up in my apartment.
I brought 2 people with me in case you try to make me get naked.
That's
you
right.
got to make all of us
you
get
didn't know
naked.
what type of podcast this was.
Well, I mean, he probably grew up in a neighborhood, a friend of a family. Mm-hmm. But I think they're both attracted to each other. They just don't know how to make that move.
Right. I don't like the part where she writes, I'm admittedly wishy-washy on what I want.
Because he's older. And she's 34 and she looking like, well, I need to stay in my age group because I'm in my oldest brother or my daddy age group.
Fair. Don't you think this is like getting a little ahead? Like, what about I want to drink with this guy? Like, I think she needs to simplify. Am I attracted? Do I want to get a drink with him?
She might not know what she wants. So she might know she's attractive, but she don't really know the move that she want to make. So that's why she say she wishy-washy. 1 minute, like him saving her grandmama, like she probably would think, oh my God, I need to get him some pussy. I just love him. He's a man for me. Then, on it 2 days later, he's just a guy I want to get a drink with. Right. And then when she had that panic attack, oh my God, he saved my life. I got to give him some pussy. No. So that's her wishy-washy. She don't know if she attracted to him. She probably don't know why she attracted to him.
Right. I guess because, and why being, is it because he saved my grandma? Is it because he's talking to me every day?
Yeah.
Am I eating the food because it's in the fridge, so to speak?
Everybody do.
Right. But I'm saying if you stick around long enough, you go,
you gonna get fat?
Right. Well, you're like, I got this guy here.
I think you should make that move. I mean, honestly, I think you both are attracted to her. I don't think he's trying to treat her like no child. He knows she's an adult.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think people waste their own time. I think him talking to you every night is him saying, yeah, I have something for you. I think they're attracted to each other. Right, I agree.
The man ain't just trying to give her no dick. I think he's just saying, I'm attracted to her and I like talking to her. But maybe he don't want to make the first move because he don't want to, he's scared the first move might be the wrong move. So if he let her make the move, she'll be more comfortable with the relationship.
Also, I would understand from his perspective, am I taking advantage of someone during a tough time? But
the grandmama didn't die, so it wasn't no tough time.
Well, she had a panic attack.
Well, a panic attack is tough time?
I mean, I would. They're going through an emotional time. You're freaking out to the point that you have to call me to get through this. So it's like...
I can't speak on panic attack because I don't have friends that have panic attack. If you call me with that crying shit, I hang up in your face. So maybe I need to start listening. Maybe I need to realize they're going through some shit.
Maybe. But I think at the same time you go... There might be. My point is that there might be indecision with, am I doing the right thing? Am I taking advantage of someone?
Yeah.
And all of this works into age. Am I doing the right thing? Am I just going after someone because they're someone I talk to every day? Do I really like them? In the same way she's going through that too, as you said.
I think her first step should be, is she attracted to him?
I think so too.
And then ask yourself that. Can you see yourself dating an older man? And will this man treat you right? I mean, you can date somebody your age and he's an asshole.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think a move needs to be made. And it doesn't.
Wait a minute. Make that move when you're ready. But but if you take too long, somebody else gonna swoop in there and get that doctor.
Right.
And you're gonna have to find you another gynecologist.
He's 48.
It ain't like it. He running on scarce time.
I think there's
in 10 years, everything ain't gonna be working on him.
He's getting close to that point. He's gonna be the grandma that needs the help.
No, not at 50. I mean, just saying, other things.
I think it's hard to like say, like she says, I don't know. When she says, I don't know what I want, I agree with you. Am I attracted? Let's start with that.
Yes.
Let's start with that. If it's a yes, this relationship needs to change. At
it
some
don't need
point,
immediately
but not
change.
now.
You
At
need
some
to
point, though, because
realize that you're attracted to him.
Right. And you're taking the calls. You're taking the calls from someone you're attracted to. At a certain point, there has to be a reveal of something.
It will be. Let her keep answering them phone calls.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Miss Pat. Everyone go watch the Miss Pat Show. Hilarious. 3 seasons out on BET Plus.
And Amazon Prime.
And Amazon Prime. Long distance relationship blunder. You and your husband ever go long distance?
No.
No.
I stopped going to jail when I met him, so we never had another long distance relationship.
JTrain, longtime listener and subscriber, looking forward to seeing you in Spokane. I'll get right to it. I met a woman on the apps in late October when I just moved to a new state. When we met up for brunch on our first date, she let me know that she was a traveling nurse and that her contract was ending mid-December. I took note of this, but was still interested in getting to know her and seeing where things went. Fast forward a few weeks, we started dating, agreeing to do long distance while she started her new contract in a new state. I've always been the type of person who never was interested in long distance, but this felt different, and I wanted to give it a chance. 2 months went by. We did virtual dates, started a show together. I don't know what that means. Started watching shows together. Okay. And even began planning our first trip to see each other. My issue is that over these 2 months, the spark faded for me and our relationship began to feel like a chore. We eventually talked about our relationship after an argument we had, and I ended up ending things. Telling her that long distance is something that I just can't see myself doing. I need that physical and in-person connection, which I was not getting. I sit here writing to you feeling guilty and wondering if I should keep trying at it and give it more of a chance. Personally, I believe that if we would have been dating for 6 months or longer and then did long distance, then it might have worked. But since we only knew each other for 2 months before long distance, it made it much more difficult to build a strong foundation. For context, I'm 30, she's 26. My questions are, is there a certain amount of time a person should try long-distance dating before deciding it's just not working out? And how long do you think a couple should be dating before they commit to doing long-distance? Appreciate all you do as we try to navigate this complex dating world. What do you think?
Long distance could be hard because I had a boyfriend in jail one time.
Okay.
And it was rough getting out to that jailhouse on time to see him.
Right. You have to do like conjugal visits? Is that
we didn't do no conjugal visit.
Is that just something you see on TV?
I mean, I'm quite sure people do conjugal visits, but we ain't had no money for no conjugal visits. So I had to kiss him through the glass.
Really? And how many times a week? You go and you would drive there?
You would drive there like 3-4 hours there to see him for like 45 minutes to an hour and then drive all the way back. So
what was your thinking? What was the thought process as you're driving there?
I love him. I'm going to see him. That's what I thought.
That was it.
Yeah. So
and what's the conversation like?
Hey, how you doing? What you eat? Anybody rape you? Stuff like that. Are you okay?
All the little things. Yeah.
So, but after a while, he had been in there. He had did 3 years. About a year and a half in, I was sick of driving down there. I was like, call sometime every now and then when I can afford the phone calls.
Did you regret the year and a half spent driving back and forth? Yeah,
because he got out and started cheating.
Really?
Yeah, piece of shit. But keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting because this person's asking about the amount of time. But I had
been with him a couple years. But I would say to you, I mean, you do what make you feel comfortable. I mean, 2 months in, you really don't know if you want that person. 2 months in, you ain't never smelled that person take a real shit to see if they gonna turn you off. How bad they tap the toilet.
Right.
They ain't passed gas in front of you. They ain't woke up ugly. It's just It's a lot to invest in a long distance relationship after knowing somebody for 2 months.
I agree. And this person then brings up, well, if it was 6 months, but you guys have no plan for month 3, 4, 5, and 6 because they're on a contract. Like, so I don't think there's a chance for this.
How do you virtual date? Y'all just go virtual watch movies, I guess.
Turn on Zoom and I guess watch the TV while Zoom's on each other.
That's annoying as fuck.
Right.
Because if you watching TV with your man, he put his hand in your shirt, play with your nipple. How
Always
you gonna
fun.
play with her nipple on Zoom?
Right. You'd have to like have her have a mannequin and you'd have to say, hey, make the mannequin play with your nipple. I'm doing that now.
What you talking about?
Saying if you want to do it over Zoom, you'd have to have like a fake hand.
Okay.
Play with your nipple. And you'd have to direct them, hey, I'm playing with your nipple now.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be.
I guess. Listen to Jared, because Jared knows best.
I've never done it. I'm just saying, you said, how would you play with a nipple over Zoom? Okay. Here's what I would say.
Okay.
I think what you're saying is right. Not enough time has been established.
You don't even love that person yet.
Right. That's why they don't want to do the work. That's why when they write, after 2 months, the spark faded for me and our relationship began to feel like a chore. Because this person, you don't love them enough to do a selfless deed like drive an hour,
just
3 hours.
Just be friends. Dude, just be friends.
Right.
And if it leads to something 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, and it's worth moving forward, then you can move. But right now, you don't even know this person.
And here's the thing. Right now, you're getting upset about this and you're wondering if it was a big mistake because you're lonely. It's not them that you're missing. It is the idea of having someone to be with. It's having that person rubbing your nipple on the couch. You don't have that. And you're going, well, who would do that? Oh, I just let go of a really good person. And you're blaming the circumstance. I don't think it's as much circumstance as, listen, 2 months, there is a percentage probability that you go in. Like if I met someone on the road and we went on a date, the probability of me meeting someone in Texas and going on a date and then falling madly in love and going off and getting married and being together forever is pretty low. Now, for you, the same thing. 2 months in, it's pretty low for this to work. You tried. You gave it a best shot. It didn't work out. And now the person felt like a chore. Trust that, and back away from this person and know that this is just loneliness. It's not the person.
You might be right, Jared. Keep going.
Thank you. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com.
Okay.
JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Here with Miss Pat. I think we're getting along great, Miss Pat.
You thought I was going to whoop your ass or something, JTrain?
I wasn't worried about us. I thought we were going to. I'm having a great time with
We ain't going to fuck, but we going to be all right.
That's okay. Not with, everyone here watching. We're sponsored people. Are you ready for your own private wingman? Talkify is like having your own hype man out in the dating pool. Talkify professionals take the guesswork out of dating. They'll screen and select matches for you based on what you're seeking in a partner. Your matchmaker will ask all the important questions that are too awkward for a first date so you don't waste any time finding love. I love Talkify. I love this idea. I think with the dating apps, what lacks is excitement. Yeah. When someone goes, hey, I got the best match for you, when someone thinks of you for another person, you're immediately more excited than you would have been from just meeting someone online. I do believe that. Like if my friend was like, I got the perfect match for you, like, what made you think of me? Well, you like this, you like that, you like this, and they like this, they like that, they like this. You go, wow, now the first date is elevated. That's what Talkify is going to do for you. Talkify has an impressive track record. 80% of clients find love within the first 12 months.
Child, some of y'all better get on Talkify and stop emailing Jared.
Right. And right now, Talkify is offering JTrain listeners 20% off when you become a client at Talkify.com/JTrain. That's TAWKIFY.com/JTrain for 20% off when you become a client. Talkify.com/JTrain. Do bad texters exist? JTrain.
That's me.
Are you a bad texter?
Yeah, I don't spell nothing right, but keep going.
Okay. Well, spelling, that's not the issue.
So what's a bad texter?
I think someone who doesn't get back.
Somebody know what?
Doesn't respond.
Oh, I don't have them problems. Just for my kids.
Those are the ones you don't take.
Yeah, they don't respond back to me.
Feather. Oh, they don't get back? Yeah, it's my mom I'll leave on red, so to speak. It happens. Feather, longtime listener, your advice has really made me more confident in dating. I have somewhat general question based on a guy I was seeing. Could use your input on. For context, I'm 27, he's 31. We had been seeing each other for about 4 months, met in person. And for the first few weeks, he was a good texter, responding generally within the hour. Really good at planning dates over text. Then the last few months, he would be so slow at responding, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, and not as great at planning stuff. But always down to do something when I planned. Our time in person was always great. He brought me chocolates a few times, bought us tickets to the Rockettes, met my friends. From the first month when he was a better texter planner to the last few months when he wasn't, our time in person was always so fun. When we would hang out right after, I'd feel fine about our relationship. But then between hanging out, which with both of our busy schedules, could sometimes be 2 weeks between, I'd get worried he wasn't as interested. I brought up the texting, his lack of planning dates, and he said he knows he's a bad texter. Mentioned how at work he just puts his phone away, and then after work he likes to zone out, not be on his phone. He also acknowledged that I'd been planning our dates and that he was grateful for it since he'd been so busy, and assured me if he didn't want to spend time with me, he wouldn't have come. He has a pretty stressful job, is a landlord for a decent-sized building in Brooklyn, has older parents he helps out with, so he has a lot going on. I really didn't mind planning things, and I guess I am fine not texting all day as long as he was still interested, but it was so hard to tell until we were in person, and I felt like via text he was giving me the bare minimum. Eventually, I just asked him to call me to plan stuff, which was better. I guess my question is, are there really such a thing as bad texters? If they're still interested in you, how much weight should you put on texting, planning, in a newer relationship? I know you've said before that a good texter doesn't always equal interest, but can the opposite be true? Thank you, a better texter than him. What do you think?
I think you need to pick up the phone and call people.
Right.
I hate texting.
Right.
Only young people text. And you'll get a better response and probably more of a conversation if you pick up the damn phone.
Right, and you get the tone that goes along with it, and you can feel, you hear someone's discomfort.
Yeah.
And their comfortability, and makes you feel better or worse.
I don't think he's not interested. Some people just don't like texting, like me. I hate young people who text all the time because you don't always look down at your phone.
Right.
Everybody ain't got their phone in their hand all day. Some people got stuff to do. I'm a better person if you call me.
I'm with you as far as, here's what I think her problem is. You got to get out of the land of good and bad. Good texter, bad texter. No, he just is. So everyone lives.
The man busy. He got his mama. He a landlord in Brooklyn of a big house rise or whatever he over there doing. He's working. He get home, he smoke a little weed, he zone out. He ain't got his phone in his hand. He got a blunt in his hand. And unless that message going down that blunt, he might not get to see it.
Right. He's got to make sure he has the blunt. That's a big point of
I'm
this.
just assuming it's a blunt, sir. I don't know. Don't put the man on dope.
No, listen, whatever he's doing, he's having, a blunt in the middle of the day. But I would say, if you looked at the graph, if we put this on like your texting is within 10% all the time when you get back to people.
Yeah.
So how they start is how they are, in my belief.
Yeah, because I'm married to a man that don't do nothing. Been with him 31 years. He still don't.
He's never done anything. But he's always been within 10% of who he is. He's been 10% better. He's been 10% worse.
He's just been 10%.
He's 10% off the ground within 10% of that number.
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. When you're thinking of like good text or bad text, no, they just is. So in the first few months of dating, that is the guy you're getting. Now it might be a little bit more in the beginning because you haven't fucked yet. So he's going to make a lot of plans. He's going to try and impress you. And he kind of did that here. And then it's going to wane off as you guys get to know each other after you guys fuck.
Our relationship wanes off.
All relationships. So you're going to have a takeoff. You're going to have, and then it's going to hit altitude.
Then it's going to land.
And then it might land. And then it might land bad. That might be the ending of the relationship. So I think if you think of it like an airplane flight, their texting pattern. Okay, you're going to get heightened in the beginning. Then you're going to get who they really are. Mm-hmm. And then if it goes way below who they really are, you can see that they're landing the plane.
But landing the plane don't always mean bad. It just means that's where that person going to be to the day they die.
Well, that's what I think. That's more, I guess, in the analogy, the takeoff, the altitude is who they are till the day they die. Unless they're going to dump you and then they start landing the plane.
Okay, well, you must fly Spirit because I fly Delta.
I'm a Delta person. Well, you're in Atlanta. I'm just saying that most people are around where they fly.
Yeah, I mean, the pretend when you're in a relationship or in a new relationship, they only pretend to be something you like for so long. Then after a while, you learn who that person are.
Right. You know, how long did it take you to realize who your husband was?
Oh, my husband was cheap from day one. And,
right.
You know, he was not a lot of... I think I used to... When I first met my husband, we would run to, like, over my friend house every day. And then finally one day, he said, look, I work at night. I work in the morning. I don't want to go over your friend house every damn day. And we never went back.
There it is.
And from that day on, he just stayed in the house. He like, I don't want to go. I won't stay at home.
Well, that was the moment you got to know him.
Well,
the guy that went to your friend's house, that wasn't him.
Well, he didn't like to go all the time. My husband is a homebody.
Right.
And I was just trying to pull him out the house all the time. So finally he said, look, I just want to stay home. You go over your friend's house. I'll be here when you get back.
Right. And so he would come sometimes, but not all the time.
Sometimes, yeah.
And that's the thing. That's not good or bad. That's just
that's
him.
not. That's just, you have to respect people space.
Right.
You know, just because you want them to do whatever you want them to do, it's all about respect. Okay, sometimes they'll go out and do this with you, but everybody have a space in a relationship.
Right.
I got one, he got one,
well,
and everybody don't like the same thing because you in a relationship. I like to get out and go. My husband is a homebody,
right.
So I had to learn to respect that. I've been married 31 years. I know that my husband like old TV. I don't like old TV, so I don't watch TV with him.
Right.
My husband listens to the TV on 99. I like to listen to the TV on 20.
Right.
So you have to learn how to respect people's space.
What are the things that you like that he knows that you like? What would he do for you that he knows you need?
He probably would. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm trying to think.
This Pat got a divorce after this episode. You're like, he doesn't do shit.
I mean,
but there's got to be something, because I guess what the point I'm trying to get to with this person is like, it's okay to be like, hey, you haven't made a plan. That makes me feel shitty.
But I'm from the old school of dating too. So
right.
I'm not where you make plans to go out. You like, hey, you want to go out this Friday?
Right.
Just because he don't plan nothing don't mean he's not interested. Some people are not good with fucking. My husband is a horrible gift giver.
Right.
He is horrible. And I say, stop giving me fucking gifts. You're horrible.
This isn't going to work.
Well,
the gifts won't work from you.
They're just not nice gifts.
What does he give you?
I mean, one time he gave me a pig with a thong on it for Valentine's Day, and I realized,
pig with a thong on it,
and I'm fat. He gave me a cowboy hat. I'm like, what the fuck?
A cowboy hat? Did you mention anything?
No, he just showed on the damn cowboy hat with bells on it. I'm like, but he just, he tries.
Trying is good,
but my husband know not to buy me nothing. So now what he buys, he buys cherry berries.
Cherry's berries.
So
he
can't go wrong with that. He's like, the bitch is fat. I know she gonna eat this.
It's kind of like Cherry's berries. Yeah. But this is kind of my point. It's like you and your husband are negotiating, when you're doing that. Like you're like, oh, fucking try. And then he's like, Cherry's berries. And you go, good. Okay. You've thought of me.
It's not that I wanted them, but I just, he buy it all the time.
Right.
So it's a decent gift. It's something that I would use instead of him buying something that I wouldn't use.
Yeah, the pig in a thong. I don't know where you use that.
It was a teddy bear.
It was a teddy bear?
It was a bear.
I think
stuffed
with the
animal, but stuffed pig.
But the stuffed pig. This person is writing in trying to judge how much someone likes them, and you're never gonna know that based on texting. You're never gonna know. And I think the only thing she can do is go, if you stop thinking of texting in terms of good and bad, I think you'll be way more helped out.
Yeah, and if he's not good with planning the dates and you want to go on a date, then you plan the damn date.
Right.
And you probably will have a better time if you plan a date. Everybody ain't a leaders. You got to let fallers faller.
Well, and then you have to find the ways that he does show he cares about you.
I mean, he'll be able to show that, but he's not the type of person that plans dates. So leave him the fuck alone and you plan the date.
What if she's like, I hate planning these dates?
Well, then y'all ain't going no damn well.
Then time to break up.
It ain't time to break up. Stay at your ass at the house.
And don't break up?
Well, what you breaking up for if you really like the guy?
Well, I think maybe you don't like the guy if you're sitting there hating planning dates for
Well,
someone
somebody
that
would
doesn't
I
appreciate
don't know.
that.
I don't know how to get y'all out the house. Maybe somebody need to set the house on fire for y'all to run out the door together. I don't fucking know.
I think she's caught up in his feelings and not her own. And it's like, if
I
you
think
just,
she's been a little immature. If you know he's not good with planning dates, then don't plan the date. You plan the dates. Some guys are just not good at that.
right.
You know, they don't know the updated restaurants. They don't know the finer things in life. That's just men. That's just boys. So if you know your husband or boyfriend or whoever this guy is to you not good at it, and he don't know how to do it, then you lead and do the dates.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Miss Pat. Go watch Miss Pat show. BET Plus, Amazon Prime. Go right now. Going to be touring what's the name of the tour?
Your Girl Done Made It. Starting
September
8th.
So go to
September. It started September 9th. It's
in Louisville.
Their theater's date.
Theater tour. Get involved.
Get involved and get out and come on out and see me.
Miss Pat is hilarious. You're going to love her. Exclusive with a younger guy in a long distance relationship. Don't want to fuck him up.
Stop reading. It's a teacher.
What's that?
That sounds like a teacher.
Jared, been a fan of the JTrain UA podcast for years. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person as soon as I can travel to where you have planned dates. Thank you for entertaining advice over the years. My question, I've been separated from my ex-husband for 10 months. I was married for 5 years and in that relationship for a total of 12 years since I was 18. I've since started dating 4 months ago. Okay. I, 30 female, met C, 23 male, when I was working out of town where he lives about 3 months ago. We were about a 5.5 hour drive apart. C is amazing. We talk on the phone multiple times a week and see each other once every couple of months so far. This past weekend, I traveled to see him and we decided to try being exclusive. I've been seeing other people since I met C and am honestly relieved to just focus on one man. The long distance thing is also attractive right now while I finalize my divorce, get into the busy season at work, and come into my own as an adult. I've never been independent until my separation. I moved from my parents' house into my ex-husband's house. I feel like this plus other factors brings me into this long distance relationship with this younger man, C. Our relationship is very open to talking about the future, marriage, kids, him moving to my city when he can, and this aligns with my goals for life. I can only trust that he is an adult, to also be honest about how he sees his life going. But I'm afraid of hurting him because he is younger, and this would be my second relationship if it works out. What kind of precautions can I take to ensure I don't fuck up C? I really look forward to your advice. What do you think, Miss Pat?
I think you just should live your life. I mean, let it happen. Just because he's 23 doesn't mean he's immature.
Right.
And you only been with one man, so you both got a lot to learn. Because where you thought that one man was really putting it down, C might put it on you. So I say just relax and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I think you have to trust that like this person has people in their life that's going to tell them that they're fucking up. If they're fucking up. Like this person, everyone's, there's Darwinism at play here. Like this person's going to survive. This person's going to go, is having their own experience with you. And you can't really, all you can do is be honest about what you're looking for. You've said what you want. Mm-hmm. And I think also you have to acknowledge a 23-year-old's mind might change.
It will change.
It's going to change.
A 30-year-old mind might change.
That's fair too. But it's like, but you might be more established. You might see your career goals and they might be just more solidified because people.
It's only a 7-year difference.
It's not that bad. No, the difference doesn't matter as much. I think 23 matters more. 23 is different than 33, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean a little bit more experience. Plus, she's been married and he hasn't.
Right.
So she know what it is to be probably with a family and to have a husband and to be in a long-term relationship. This 23-year-old probably don't know that.
No.
He probably get that and be like, man, I ain't with this bullshit. I want to go hang out on the corner with my friends.
Right. So you might lose him to immaturity. You might lose him to, but you might not. So you don't know. And all you can do is be honest. What's that?
We said might not at the same time.
We're like we're singing a chorus right now.
Yeah.
We totally agree on this. I think she needs to keep going forward with it. And she also needs to acknowledge as much as she could fuck him up, he could fuck her up.
Sure can.
He could come back and go, you know what? I like playing video games and I don't want to go to your dinner party.
Or he can make you buy him an Xbox and leave you.
For the Xbox.
Yeah.
These are all possibilities. And, here's the only thing that matters. You're happy right now. You enjoy his company. You've been honest. And let's date. Let's have a fun time.
Girl, let me tell you something. Go out and buy yourself some new panties that your husband ain't never seen and have a good time.
That's right. Young panties.
Yes.
23-year-old panties.
I pull my drawers up to my titties, but I don't know what you young girls do. Go out and have fun.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Have you ever been to a wedding where Nana was bit?
Well, who?
Nana. The grandma.
She was what?
Bit.
What bit mean?
Like, bite.
Somebody bit Nana?
Jared, this is a long story, but I'm a huge fan of yours and need your take. My husband and I got married in 2021 in a very small wedding, 20 people, including my husband and I. The short ceremony went well, but during the speeches, my sister-in-law, 20 years old and 10 years younger than my husband and I, began drinking too much and was on antibiotics. As we were leaving the first venue to head to a small reception at an Airbnb we booked and decked out, my sister-in-law goes on a shuttle bus with all of our siblings and a few friends. On the bus, she proceeds to scream at my best friend she had just met that day for playing bad music, which then spirals her into a furious rage where she slaps her boyfriend, punches her brother, and drunkenly calls and texts me to tell me, "You're not my fucking sister and I hope you die." Oh my God.
The sister-in-law?
This is the sister-in-law.
Okay, keep going.
What a way to start the life together. When she gets off the shuttle bus, she is out of control, throws rocks at the Airbnb, hits her head against her parked car repeatedly, which gives her a concussion, and then bites her grandma and chokes out her dad by pulling him by his tie.
Dang.
This can't be real.
This some white people shit. Keep going.
Both my husband's dad, now father-in-law, and grandma had to be hospitalized the next day. My husband had to restrain her from the neck to get her to stop injuring family members. My side of the wedding desperately wanted to call the police to have her admitted as she was in danger to herself and others, but my husband's side repeatedly asked us not to and just kept saying that's just how she is. And that's more embarrassing. I'd rather send her off in the loony bin car.
She got to be the big head sister. Just running around.
The what sister?
Big head sister. Running around head-butting people. But you know how much head you got to have to heal the motherfucker with to put them in the hospital. She put grandmama and daddy in the hospital.
That's crazy. Ultimately, my mom and brother, who had met her only twice before, were able to calm her down enough to get her home safely, but it was very disappointing that my mother-in-law was allowing the behavior and basically froze.
They scared of her.
Yeah, they've been dealing with this their whole lives.
Yes. Crazy.
After the wedding, I distanced myself from his family for a couple months. His sister never apologized to either my husband or I. I mean, she
don't remember it. Right. She don't remember being that drunk, heading butting the car, tore up the car, and her daddy.
Eventually, I was talked into going to a 4th of July party at his parents' house months later because my husband and I were expecting a baby, and it didn't feel right cutting his family out of our lives altogether. At this party, it was basically another version of the wedding, which ended with me 6 months pregnant, crying and driving my husband and I home 2 hours away. He had a few drinks while texts like, "I hope you and your baby die," coming from my drunk sister-in-law. She punches holes into the wall at their house. Oh, the sister-in-law is sick. I mean, it's got a problem.
What you need to do is go out and get a black friend so somebody can whoop her motherfucking ass.
Our son is now 2 months old, and we have not let almost any of my husband's family meet him.
I don't blame you. They gonna headbutt your baby.
Right. So we can avoid having to ever have him meet my sister-in-law. I'm very uneasy about her involvement in our child's life in the future.
No doubt. She gonna bite him.
My mother-in-law will definitely not handle any boundaries we set against her daughter well, but at the same time, I do not want to ruin more big things for my new family or put my son in danger. She hasn't apologized or even acknowledged what happened at all. Am I out of line here for wanting to ice her out? Would love your thoughts. Sincerely.
Hell no, you ain't. Jared, don't you even say that. You ain't out of line for icing her out. That bitch is crazy. And until y'all get a bat, and when she get crazy, hit that motherfucker across her head a couple times and knock her unconscious, she gonna keep taking her head and ramming it into y'all cars and upside your head and damaging property and everything, old big head bitch. You a fool. Lord have mercy. Them white people call. Let me tell you something. You do that shit at a black barbecue, everybody whooping your ass.
Right. I guess.
You might get shot. We shoot cousins at the reunion.
Then
you bring your drunk big head ass over there.
Then we'll put your big forehead on a T-shirt and
say, "Fuck you, bitch."
I don't think she's out of line. Here's the thing: she's coming in. The family, when you bring new people into the family, as this is the new wife. Mm-hmm. You as a family, like I'm sure your dynamic with your daughter and with your kids and your husband, someone might look into your house. Someone might watch the Miss Pat show on BET Plus and Amazon Prime and go, look at this fucked up fucking thing going on.
Well, no family is perfect. So
this is my point.
That's what we try to display.
And you guys have come together.
And nobody is headbutting nobody.
This is an extreme, of course. I agree. This is an extreme. I'm saying if someone saw the dynamic of my family, they'd be like, your dad talks to you like that, and you go, but no, this is how we work. This is how it goes.
That's different, Jared. This bitch is headbutting people. No, this bitch is getting drunk, right, whooping grandma ass. That's different if your daddy call you pussy or some shit like that, or you. But when you get to the point where you drink and you act a fool, that's different than you coming to my house and me and my kids talking about each other.
This is my point. This is an extreme version of
no.
That.
This ain't.
But they are used to it. That's why the family. She's getting mad at the whole.
Ain't nobody
family.
Never did nothing about her alcoholism. She
right.
only get drunk and do this shit. They never did nothing about her alcoholism. They've let this bitch run them and beat them up and all of this dumb shit. Somebody need to punch this bitch out. And they don't want to call the police because they know the bitch is crazy.
Well, they don't want the embarrassment.
They don't want the embarrassment.
And they've handled this before. So
they ain't never handled it. That's why she keeps showing her motherfucking
handled
ass.
It their way.
They ain't handled it. They look the other way.
Right.
What you should do is get that bitch locked up.
Yes. And I think what she needs
Y'all
to say...
need to whoop her motherfucking ass.
Well, they need to let her know, these parents know, like, hey, this is...
No, you don't need... You need to slap the mama for allowing it to go on. Look,
a lot of slapping in your solutions.
It worked at the Oscar.
It does. Miss Pat, thank you for coming on. This is fantastic. Everyone go follow Miss Pat.
Beat your sister-in-law ass. I had to whoop my sister-in-law ass.
She's got to tell the husband too is being kind of a
he's groomed in that family.
This is my point.
To look the other way.
They're all groomed to do that. It's worked for them. I'm not saying it's working. It's worked for their family dynamic to feel as comfortable. They've rationalized it. She needs to let them know your rationalizations are fucked up. And for that reason, Shark Tank it. Your rationalizations are fucked up. And for that reason, me and my son are out. You want to see the son? You need to take an active, healthier approach towards your daughter who is scaring the living shit out of me.
Can I just tell you, that's the white way.
That's the what?
That is the white way.
That's the white way.
So if it was black people
right.
and they know this bitch gonna cut up when she get drunk, she don't get invited. And if she get invited, she get her ass beat by everybody who ain't been drinking.
Right. That's another way to go to not invite her. Yeah. So I would invite the parents over.
I mean,
but would you
be like, and personally, me, I was like, look, you can come over here, Lulu, but you gonna leave that crazy ass daughter over there. We don't want that drunk bitch over here. But ain't nobody said nothing about the bitch drinking. Ain't nobody said nothing about her acting up. Everybody. Then you texting me, you want to die. I would have turned that car around at 6 months pregnant, went back and whooped her motherfucking ass. Me and that baby would have jumped on that bitch like Chucky and the mama.
I do agree with inviting the mom over and the mom and dad going, and you're not bringing your daughter. She's not allowed here.
I would have told the whole family. If that bitch there, I ain't going. I got family members that I'm not gonna go if they there.
Right.
Because they don't know how to fucking act.
And
then the whole family start fight.
That's a good response because they don't know how to fucking act.
They don't know how to fucking act.
She could say that to the mom.
She ain't gonna say it. She's scary.
The mom is scary?
The daughter-in-law say, your fucking daughter don't know how to act. And I ain't coming around till y'all get that drunk bitch some help. I don't mean drunk down. Female, drunk bitch some help.
That needs to be written down.
And you turn to your husband and say, your sister's a drunk bitch.
I would love to hear her on the phone with the mom. Okay, so I won't be coming over unless you take care of that drunk bitch. After she read off what you said. Miss Pat, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Everyone go follow Miss Pat on Instagram.
Never gave this much fucking relationship advice.
That's right. Well, this is we got you here, so we wanted to make sure we get all the advice.
Well, follow me on Instagram, Comedian Miss Pat, on all platforms.
On all platforms, Comedian Miss Pat, and the Miss Pat Show, BET Plus, Amazon Prime. Go watch 3 seasons out. Hilarious. Go watch Miss Pat's stand-up. Fantastic. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every
Hold
Monday.
on, Jared.
What's that?
Can y'all please check out my podcast, The Pat Down?
The Pat Down?
Yes, on all platforms.
What do you do on the Pat Down?
Talk shit.
Talk shit?
Talk shit. Come on over, listen to me talk shit with my co-hosts.
Love it. Love
Thank
it. So
you.
go to the Pat Down. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Monday. Keep sending your emails. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Back next week. Boom.